Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome. Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. And welcome back to our Around the Hearth discussions. This time, we are doing Hunters of Horrors, because we're talking about NPCs, and I needed something that was in there. And hunters, like bounty hunters and stuff like that, is something in Metroid, so I kind of got it like that. Plus, it's alliteration on the without the of there, so it is what it is. But that's what we're talking about this time. Like I kind of alluded to there, we have Metroid and some of the lore from it giving us a loose inspiration this time for our Lovecraftian style horror that's happening on this space type setting. So before we dive into that, we need to do Dan's introductions and announcements. And as we've started this month, different people are going first each time. So this time, it was Dan last time. First person to go first this time is Skrat. And then it'll go me, and then it'll go Dan. So, take it away, Skrat.
Well, I'm Skrat from Squirrel Plays over on YouTube, and I chitter about things other than nuts, supposedly, so I'm told. Some storytelling stuff, such as character building, world building, some interesting plot points and adventure hooks you can use, things to keep things interesting. And as you can imagine, that carries over quite a lot into TTRPGs, but also works for whatever your medium is. But I also do some TTRPG reviews because of it bleeding over into that area so much. And I imagine the time this episode comes out, we'll still be streaming the development of an ECT6 playset, though maybe not. Maybe we'll be in the playtesting phases of that. But there are also streams of other TTRPG systems, usually the ones you guys make and I test out, or the more official ones. I'm going to be throwing Daggerheart under the bus with 5e before too long. I'm already sick of it and I haven't even played it yet. So.
Oh no!
It'll be my next thing to hate.
Well, I'm already going to beat a dead horse with 5e, so.
Yeah, I'm already frustrated with it because it's not bringing anything new to the table, but people are acting like it is. And it's just, like, guys, I'm fairly new to this hobby, and I know that. Like, come on. Anyway, new thing to hate.
But Matt Mercer, patron saint of D&D.
Yeah, I don't care.
Skrat's a post-critter TTRPG or so.
He is indeed, yes.
A post-critter TTRPG?
See, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
Is that for Critical Role?
Yeah. That's what the fans of Critical Role are called.
Critters.
That's disgusting. It's an insult to critters. Oh man!
In their defense, their first set of live streams was actually had good story with it, but it didn't stay that way. So you had to be there, man.
You had to be there. It's true. Back on what was it? Geek and Sundry.
Mm-hmm.
Where they started.
And that was still worth watching.
Yep.
All right, Dan, what you got? No, it's me. It's me in it.
Yeah.
I am Adam L. Spaden with the Inn of Planar Crossroads. That's innofplanarcrossroads.com or the IOPC.com. Either one of those works. And we're on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Subscribestar, PayPal, Locals, Patreon, all those different places and stuff. You can check us out there. And we're hopefully getting these, Lord willing, worked around. If interest is there, we will get them worked around and put them into printable stuff for everybody. And that's the idea for this particular one that we're doing tonight. I don't have any different things aside from that for the channel coming up. So, pretty quick for me. And then we got Dan.
Hey everybody, Dan from Avenue Studios. You can find all our links on avenuestudios.media. Join us mostly on YouTube, live streaming Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, for our AVS minis, which are short campaigns. Right now we are in Eldamon the Gatekeepers using Battle Zoo Bestiary from Roll for Combat, so join us for those. I'd love to see you in chat. Help shape the story through your donations. And that's me.
All right. That means we're done with Dan's introductions and announcements. It is time for our shout-out, or Levi's shout-out, or Levi's spotlight, with Quests and Quills. Quests and Quills is one I just saw one of his videos recently. I was like, oh, that's pretty good, and he needs some more subscribers. So he's at 1,730 right now. Could easily get up to 2,000 with the little signal boost, so hopefully that'll happen. And he's mainly covering minis and painting, and then bases and stuff like that. So if you like those type of things for your tabletop, check it out. Give him a little like. I don't know that we mentioned it last time. The comment to leave this month, if you go over and you're saying somebody sent you, the comment to leave this time is squirrels ran out of the inn and down the avenue. So that's the comment to leave on somebody else's video. You can leave it with context, saying that we sent you, or without context. It doesn't matter. We won't care. Well, I mean, we would prefer that you told them that, in parentheses or something, that who is sending you, but you don't have to. All right.
Get him on the show. Join us for Around the Hearth. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So, that means we're done with Dan's introductions and announcements. We're done with Levi's shoutout. Now, it's time to grab your preferred beverage and join us around the hearth during the Councils of Kane as we discuss Hunters of Horrors. Skål.
Skål.
I'm out of drink. It's sad.
Yeah. Okay. So with this one,
tell the kitty to refill your water.
yeah. Start tapping your water bowl. Start tapping your drink over and over again until it fills it up. Yeah. It works for them.
He's smacking it.
Yeah, I see it. That cat is very happy where he is right now.
And there's the other one.
Hey.
All right. So, do you guys have ideas for this particular thing? So, character one, I don't know if it will do it, if it'll affect this time, but usually character 1 is associated with adventure 1 and site 1, character 2 with adventure 2 and site 2, 3 and 3. But I'm not sure that necessarily applies this time. So
right. Yeah, I mean, we started to talk about at the end of the last episode. So the one thing was the data logs or some kind of stuff they could find, and I really like Skrat's idea of it's one person, but it's the copies coming back, so you're getting contradictory information, or maybe some things aren't remembering other things.
Mm-hmm.
The other thought I had, which kind of links with what we were finishing in the last episode too, with if you have roles within the crew that aren't filled, the one I had thrown out was possibly you could have it's the one character like in the video games that's always talking to you over comms because they're stuck somewhere else and they're trying to direct you, something like that. They could be used to help guide the PCs, especially if they get stuck, or assign them quests like, hey, I see, which could direct them to Plot Hook 2, getting them into that location. Oh, and then I threw in, but at the same time, that person could not actually be real or alive. Like, it could just be the planet manipulating the whole time. So the one thing I was kind of liking, other than my other option, possibly, I'll just throw out mine, was a survivor running across someone who survived before. Which may or may not work, because that was before the copy ID and everything. But I like the isolation thing, so that's why I kind of liked like the ghosts that Skrat was offering, the data logs, because you're not able to directly one-to-one interact, and even the survivor, I liked the idea that they're on the ship in orbit or something like that where you're talking through comms, and that can easily, you know, we lost signal or you're breaking up. Like, you continue to feed into that isolation feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. That's my general thoughts.
Well, if character 1 is the character that's non-playable, that's in the crew, we could do that as the pilot. That'd be an easy one to do, since the pilot's not necessary for exploration.
Right.
And then he wouldn't necessarily be a red shirt then.
Right.
But, you know.
Or was he?
Or was he? Yeah.
And you didn't know.
Well, it'd be one thing if the reason I'm a little hesitant to make an ending where the pilot becomes a vector for the spread is because the pilot has no reason to really leave the ship. So it'd be like the GM saying, "You're getting the bad ending anyway," type of thing. If you're making multiple endings. So having the
my kind of thought.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
So either.
Well, my kind of.
either having the red shirt be the character or the pilot be the character. If the red shirt's the character, then they can see him die and come back up, and that's fair.
Yes.
If the pilot dies off screen sometime while they're not there to see it, then you're giving them you're doing something that's not fair to them to figure out. They have no way to figure it out. So.
Yes. And my caveat to that would have been, actually the ship and the pilot were destroyed during entry. Like, he's not one that could come back as copy. That's like... So they think the ship's okay and they could get back to it if they can just do these things, but come to find out. But again, that would be if you want. It doesn't have to be that way, but... Or maybe, do the false Hydra thing. There never was a pilot, actually.
There is some bending manipulation there. There is some manipulation there that the planet can do. We've already kind of set that in motion. Where...
Right. And again, I'm just throwing out ideas too.
And that can be fair then. Well, that can be fair because later in the deep control room, they can get if they get down to the deep control room with the proper passwords and stuff, then they can get footage of their crash. And the ship and, the planet watching their crash. And see that that everybody who was on the ship is there. There is no pilot. And it is the ship, it is the planet trying to affect them. And send off a spore, basically. So that is a way we could do that. So we might, that would allow
if you wanted to,
over.
like, you don't have to, but yeah, that's a good one.
Well, it gives them something immediate to figure out, and for the GM to have in the back to show them and stuff. So I think I kind of like that.
It would tickle the interest, hopefully, of there's more going on here than we thought. Because if they're hyper-focused on just get the item, fetch quest, fight the monsters, and aren't really picking up on the crazy stuff going on, that right there would be like, wait a second, we've been talking to this person for like half the session. Who are we actually talking to? And basically, it's just stealing Skrat's ghost. Yeah.
All right. That's how I know it was a good idea.
Boom.
All the good ideas, your guys' ideas are good if someone steals them. I mean, it's not wrong.
Did we somewhere in all that mention finding a survivor somewhere? Basically, your bin gun of this planet, and then
I just threw it as an option, but we haven't.
Well, I mean, did we throw out the idea of that, getting a bunch of information from him and everything else, and then finding the ghost of that guy?
Ooh.
And then that's when you're like, wait a minute. So you would have to have encountered some of the ghosts before, and then you find that survivor. And that wouldn't be too out of the whatever. Like, the ghost wouldn't be able to communicate. What I was thinking anyway, they're just all gestures and stuff. Brief, come in and out for just a couple seconds. So finding us somebody who isn't a ghost yet, I feel like wouldn't be too far outside the realm of expected. So they could get to know him, and he's like trying to help him out. He's like, oh, I totally want to escape, but it's the planet. Like, using that guy to just lure you into more stuff, and then you catch a couple second glimpse of that guy's ghost, and he's like trying to warn you or whatever, and then it's like, wait.
That's pretty fun. I like the idea of introducing the ghost that they're almost not sure, are we watching a hologram of something, and then they like make eye contact and do the hand gestures, like clearly trying to communicate with you. And then you're attacked by a monster. It's like going, run, turn around, go. It would be a fun thing to play with too, because bad things would happen every time you see the ghosts, because the ghosts are trying to show up, and maybe if we went with the ghosts are not the planet trying to coerce you. If the ghosts were like the bits of the souls of people who are trying to tell you to get away, they're still showing up. It's the Gandalf thing. Bad news seems to follow you wherever you go.
I figured they'd be trying to tell you, like, lead you to places where you will find more information. So, they'd be like doing this and taking you to a lab underground or something that somebody else had set up. That could have been their lab they set up, and they know there's the research there, and they're like, come this way. But
that would be like fun.
They pop up to the surface by the cave entrance or something, they're like doing this, and boop, they're gone. They can't lead you right to it, so.
Right.
You got to navigate some on your own.
I'm just enjoying the party arguing, should we follow the ghost directions? Is this a good idea?
And I would say, I've got the two options there, the helpful ghost and the unhelpful ghost. I would not mix those. That would be too unfair, agreed. I feel like.
Yeah.
So even though
pick your lane.
Yeah, it would make sense for the planet to do that, but because
I like
to instill confusion. But...
Right. I like the idea though. If you have, like you said, the survivor, that's the planet combating it. The planet can do physical manifestations, but there's a little piece of those real people.
And you could flip it too. You could have all these ghosts.
Sure.
They were all bad, and then you find a survivor of the ghost, and then you're like, wait a minute.
Ooh,
so every time we follow one of these ghosts, we get in trouble. I mean, the first 30 times I thought I was just being a little paranoid, but now, the 40th time, I'm beginning to think.
Fool me once or 30 times. Shame on me.
So we need names for the pilot and the survivor. And then I have a third character.
All right.
So I'll let you guys get that. I'll start typing in the third character.
All right.
Why can't you just call him Ben Gunn? Just direct reference.
Just go for it. Why not? Yeah, let's do it.
Or B Gun. B Gun.
Well, the survivor, to build off what y'all were saying, the survivor might know where the ship is. That get the better ship that can get them off the planet is.
Yeah, and you could work that either way, good or bad, because on the bad side, the planet wants a copy to go off and make a new one. Flip side, good side, the survivor wants to survive.
Is there an AI somewhere in the Metroid universe? Let me see.
Yeah, no, she has. That was the one I was talking about in Dread. It's I think it's a copy of somebody. It's either a copy of them or based off someone. One of her military people when she was in the force. Can't remember if his brain got downloaded or. And technically, the mother brain. Mm-hmm. That's what she was. She was a machine. She was a giant computer thing, and that's why it was a brain. That's what they needed to power it. It was so massive. So pretty sure
that would add into why this space station was what the machine wanted to take over anyway. Like this eldritch thing wanted to take over anyway, because it's a lot easier to take over a physical brain than try and work in the machinery. So we can call it
Cold hard steel doesn't feel fear, like a fleshy brain.
We can just say Mother Synapse.
Yeah, that's fun.
We can call it Mother, like aliens.
And we're calling the Survivor Ben Gun? Or was that the point?
Wow. I mean, you could. But... Or Benji.
Benji.
Period.
That's good.
You call him Benji for short, but then he's like, oh no, it's actually his last name starts with a G. And, then...
And you're thinking that for the Survivor, right?
Yeah. Somebody who's been there a little too long.
Well, he could be there, and he could be like one of the alien race, like we were talking about. And he's called Benji because you can't pronounce his name. You don't have the right organs to pronounce his name the way they pronounce it. So
that's his name.
We could call the pilot. We could make the pilot Jennifer. It's the name of the voice actress who does Samus, as well as a bunch of other.
Well, which one? I'm guessing other
from Metroid Prime.
Oh, really? It's like, does she have any lines in that one? Other than
she's yeah, that might be it. She's also the female shepherd in Mass Effect.
Really?
According to IMDb.
Say the one from Other M doesn't get any credit because we don't acknowledge that game exists.
Thank you. I didn't know I needed to do that, but I will now.
I mean, that one, for the most part, the Metroid fan base has collectively decided that one does not exist. It was so bad. Just
so bad lore-wise or so bad game-wise?
Both. Like, it was mostly it was terrible. Like, they really tried to show a different side of Samus, and it did not work. Like, they really tried to soften her up and give her PTSD from Super Metroid and, like, have all these feelings for this captain dude. And it's like, that's not Samus. Like, she's this real, just tough as nails, had an awful childhood experience, and then, was abducted by these aliens and raised, she's a no-nonsense kind of gal. And they leaned super hard into that in Metroid Dread to make up for Other M. Like she was
really
Doom Guy
machine,
cranked,
right?
Yeah, she was Doom Guy cranked up to 11 in Metroid Dread. Like she was not playing. And it was great.
And I loved it.
I was telling Adam before we got started, like, well, are you going to play Metroid Dread? I don't want to spoil it.
You're fine.
Okay.
I would love to, I'm sure, but it might be 20 years from now.
Yeah. So Samus has Metroid DNA in her, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that or not. And in Metroid Dread, you don't know it until pretty much the end. You are slowly turning into a Metroid. You are becoming more and more like one. And by the end of it, your entire suit changes. It's all green and red like a Metroid. And you like dig your clawed up hand into the boss's skull and just start sucking out his life juice. And you're just like, just going to town on him. It was great. And then he mutates, and because they had the Parasite X thing in that one, and it gets on the BBEG, and he mutates into the super big nasty thing, and you just split him in half. Just
as you should.
Yeah. I was telling Adam, you know how games sometimes like they might just render or have the model go up to here because there's a helmet right here, and then there's just nothing back here. Well, at the end when she's just mutilating the boss, the camera hits an angle that it goes up her visor, and that's what it looks like because her helmet's right here, and it's just like, oh dang, that looks bad. Like there's no skull there; it's just clipped right through. Her head is turning into the Metroid, like those, you know, on the Metroid, the 3 balls they have in there. Those red. That's what it is. If you like pause it and look, but when it just flips by, it looks like a glitch. But if you pause it, you can see her head turning into that. It's like, woo!
That nice touch.
Yeah. There was a ton of hidden little details in that game. Like that's why it was short, but it was really good. And it was a fun play. And in Other M's defense, like there was some. They tried to be Super Metroid, you know, the side scrolly with a little. They tried to do like finisher moves and stuff, since because it was made by the people that made Ninja Gate, and it showed. Like not in a bad way, but it's like that's a different game, you know. That's not.
Yeah, sure.
So. But the lore and story was just so bad. And it was so dumb because, you know, Metroids, you find weapons, you unlock new areas. You have everything in this one, but some captain idiot's telling you, like, I don't authorize missile use, so you can't use missiles. And then that's how you unlock new stuff. It's like, I am authorizing the use of power bombs.
I don't think Samus needs your permission. That's kind of what I'm sure that's what the players were like.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's why they got so sad, because it was that captain dude. She had all these feelings for us. Stop.
All the gamers are like, I didn't sign up for a rom-com. I signed up to blow away Metroids.
That's right. They didn't plot wise, like it was kind of stupid. It was like, oh, there's another facility with more Metroids. Who'd have thought? You know. But everybody was so hyped for it because Other M was the first progression of the story we had since Super Metroid. Like everything else had been prequels. Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 are prequels to the original Metroid series. So, and it started like at Other M. The opening scene is the ending cutscene to Super Metroid. Like it's just literal minutes after it. So. And just immediately goes downhill. That's where I don't know if you've ever seen the meme, the baby, that meme, or saying that.
I don't know if I have.
Yeah, because she's like super obsessed with the Metroid baby that saved her. I mean, granted, it was super cool and sad in Super Metroid how all that went down, but the baby.
Now, did you guys say Benji was real or a copy?
Well, we went both ways. There was the idea that he is a copy, and then you find the ghost, or
The ghost is a fake.
yeah, one was the ghost was a fake, and then one the ghost was real. So it's either way you want to do it. You could be, what was it? You're following the ghost, and the ghost was fake for a while, and then you find the real Benji, and then the other way around was you're following the real Benji for a good while, and then all of a sudden you find this ghost, and then that's when you're like, ooh. So, player or GM choice. I guess players don't get to decide that one. Just middle of the game, I decide the story's gonna go this way.
I am the narrator.
That's what Dave over at Grimwood, he was trying to make his Layers and Lizards game. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
Oh, it's like a D&D spoof, Layers and Lizards, but you still have your classes and everything you pick, but you can also pick a player type. And one's a rules lawyer, and one's I think it's the forever GM. You can play as that, so your special ability is like once per session, you get to decide how something plays out. Like you narrate what happens instead. So.
That's so funny.
Yeah, there was some really cool concepts in there.
Now
he's been really focusing on that lately.
With this ghost idea, are we going to do that where I get that there's the desire to show like it comes from showing the upgrades being used, right? Like when the ghost concept, you get to see how something's used or something like that. Is that what we said?
Well, one of the suggestions was the ghost could lead you to like more research and stuff that would help explain what's going on the planet, because like they want to warn you, they're if we're going the route that ghosts are victims and not fakes, so they'd be trying to pull you into other areas. Now, or are you asking were they like the creatures from Super Metroid that try and teach you how to use stuff? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Which they could do that. Like if they take you to a research post they set up, there could be some gear there that you get.
Well, my question is because if it depends on how disturbing you would want to be, I guess, because you can have it where they're stuck where these creatures are stuck in a loop, where the reason you know that there's an upgrade there is because you see them, like, you see this mass of flesh that looks humanoid, depending on how many revolutions it's gone through this, but it's now insane. This soul stuck in this body that's over and over again having to experience this fear in this run. It goes through the motions of putting on something, and its flesh just makes it into that instead of actually using the item so the players can have the item. But it puts it on, and so it puts on this blaster upgrade to its power suit, and then it runs out and it starts to use it, and then it jumps off and dies because it doesn't have, it doesn't complete. It got killed before, and it just keeps reenacting over and over again its death loop. So you could do it that way if you wanted to have one where it had like the high jump and then that extra little boost jump, and when it hits the wall that it's supposed to cling on, it just splats into the wall, and then you see it reemerge over there, and it just runs through the loop again over and over and over. So depending on how disturbing you want it to be.
That could fit with, because like Skrat, you were saying you don't want to, they can't lead you right to these locations and stuff. So if there's just these moments of glitch where they can kind of like beckon you, but they're stuck in that loop, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
It could also
it's like fast food or the low calorie stuff that the the planet is eating, because it's almost not even feeling anything anymore because it's just going through the loops. Not very tasty.
Yeah.
But itchy.
But itchy. It's itchy. Can't quite scratch that itch.
But I put Benji there, and I put the stuff in we talked about, but then I put in a GM note, he actually is a copy that doesn't know he is a copy until they discover his ghost, quote, quote, in a room with an upgrade off the beaten path. So if they don't explore everywhere, they never understand that he's actually a copy, and he's another copy that could escape and get out. But he doesn't, because we've already said that the planet would spread this spore out, and it's not like the spore knows it's a spore until it's too late. Until it starts to become the center brain, the mother... Well, it's not a mother brain, but, you know, the mother brain.
Mother brain-esque.
So, what did we say the pilot's name was?
I suggested Jennifer. It's the voice actress for one of the games.
What's another voice actor's name? Our actress.
Let's see. There's not too many that actually do Samus because she doesn't talk a lot.
I say she did in Dread. I get that one.
I got
That was a good
Jennifer
one.
Hale. Let's see who else comes up.
She spoke in Chozo in that one. They had to make up a language.
That's the way you do it, yo. You make up languages.
Hmm.
Unless you're like me and you want to learn 10 different languages so you have one for each of the attributes you have in your system that you're trying to make up. Not very efficient.
No. But if it makes you happy. Or crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Jessica Aaron Martin. Oh, there it is. Metroid Other M. That was Jessica.
Oh, so now, okay. We'll use Aaron. Aaron Hale.
Nikki
That way-
Garcia is from Metroid Dread. She does one line.
Oh, shit, way more than one line. What are you talking about?
Maybe somebody
Let's
else does
see.
the Chozo.
Nikki Garcia was the voice of Samus Aran for a single line in Metroid Dread when Samus is speaking to Quiet Robe.
Oh, well, that's when they're speaking Chozo. Yeah.
She's the third voice actress to record spoken dialogue for Samus in a Metroid game. Jessica Martin, and then Ai Kobayashi. Oh, that's Other M as well, the Japanese.
We'll go with Aaron Hale. It's different enough from the...
That's fine. Yeah.
And just for the kicks, we'll put an A instead of an E. Aaron Hale.
Nice.
So she's the pilot. Now, we could have the pilot be the final boss of the true ending. Because this copy could know, because it's one that the planet is specifically using to get off the planet. That's the whole point. It's actively inserting that memory into their mind. So, this could be the true end boss, if we want it to be.
If they make it that far.
That's true. We'll put best ending. Because if they escape with Aaron Hale, it gets out. If they escape with Benji and Aaron Hale, it gets out to 2 space stations. It gets out to 2 species. it gets out to the alien species and the human. Well, we'll assume that Aaron Hale's human, so the human species. Okay.
That's fun. I like it.
All right. So that means we are pretty much we've got the ideas set there. We've got ghost kind of things going on in the background. All right. I think we're ready. I think we're done with Councils of Kane, which means it's Skrat's final question time.
Let's see. Alright, what's your preferred way or ways to introduce spook into a game that's not a fight with a monster? How do you make it spooky or horror, intense, get your players on edge without saying, here's Cthulhu, go fight him?
Well, that's not even scary if you're gonna go fight him. But I know this one for me because I've done it. It's subtlety. It's one thing out of place at a time until almost everything becomes out of place, depending on how far you want to go down the rabbit hole on that. So it's one thing out of place at a time until you reach the level of surrealness that you're ready for in the game. That's how I've done it.
Good.
That's how I've done it with, like, especially with dream sequence stuff, where you're like, I did it with you're stuck in a dream type of thing. It started off where there was nobody in the town. Okay, well, that's kind of weird. You're just going to kind of drift through. Okay, you drift through. You just kind of keep on going. You are going through you're traveling through the woods, and you come across this town. There's nobody in it. We're just gonna keep on going then. Alright, well, you're going through the woods and you're traveling down the road in this town, and then you find this town and there's nobody in it. And if you keep saying that over and over again, you can't come to 3 towns in a row and have nobody in them. You're in the same town. You're stuck. So it's just that normal traveling voice thing that can start that off. And it can go more or less. Depending on how long you want it to build up, you could do it over an entire campaign of just one little thing is off in the first session. And then another little thing is off in the second session. And then, eventually those things get mounting up into something that's just not right. What about you, Dan?
Nice. I mean, that's a good one. I was thinking about doing those little things to push. The other thought I had was knowing the characters and how to scare them. This does go back to what we talked about previously of reacting. Adam, you brought it up in the first episode of reacting as your character. I always try to pay attention to how my players play their characters and what their fears might be, so then I can lean into those types of things that should scare the character. So that would be specific to the character, but looking for those things, or threatening the things that they hold most dear, but like Adam said, in subtle ways. Because it's easy to just kill off their family if they have a family, but to put them in danger, set the threat, to create that sense for the character that the character is not in control of what's happening. I think that's it, when you can get the character to feel a loss of control. Most of us get scared when we feel that.
Yeah.
Which is most of life, but we won't go to...
Okie dokie. Well, what about you, Skrat? You gotta answer your own question.
How's a squirrel spook?
I haven't done it a lot. I've mentioned that one game before. It was first campaign. Being chased by something you don't get to fight, I think is a good way to do it. Keeps them on edge anyway, but I had that one, they were in a kind of a Zelda-y type of dungeon. And one part of it was a dungeon that had 3 different elements. So there was like a foresty type they had to do, a fire side they had to do, and then on the watery side, there was all these rooms. Like sometimes they'd have to be in the water, or they'd have to get across bodies of water. But there was something in the water that would try to grab them every time they got in the water, and they couldn't see it. They didn't know what it was. But they really enjoyed it, and they were on edge the entire time. You know, they were really plotting and scheming how to get around the bodies of water. You know, and they knew, because each section they did, you know, the foresty one and the fire one, there was a boss waiting for them at the end of it. So they knew whatever that was, they were going to be fighting at the end of it. But like, they couldn't until they got to the end, but it was capable of hurting them. So there was, I don't think spook's the right word for that, but it definitely kept them on edge. But I've been in a couple games where we've been getting chased by something, and that you can't fight, and that's pretty good, I think. Good chasing.
At the minimum, it ramps up the tension. Even if your players aren't fully buying into the horror, it ramps up the tension.
Yeah, because they can see their HP going down.
Yeah. Okie dokie then. That means everybody's answered. We need a comment for this time. So, let's see.
No HP is stressful.
No HP is stressful. There we go. That's good enough for me. Good enough for me. All right. That means we're done with Skrat's final question. And it's time for the outro. So, we hope you have enjoyed. And to go in reverse order, like we usually do, remember that we shouted out Quests and Quills. He's at 1,730 subscribers right now. So you can bump that up. Hopefully we can bump that up to 2,000. He does miniature painting as well as terrain making and stuff. Check out Skrat from A Squirrel Plays exclusively on YouTube. And he doesn't need any help with his subscribers. He's at like 3,000. It's like double mine or something like that. So you can give him an extra subscribe if you want, I guess. So
I gotta catch up with Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's crushing it.
And there's also Dan from Avenue Studios. Check them out on YouTube, Rumble, Patreon, Locals, or on their own webpage, avenuestudios.media. As well as the Inn of Planar Crossroads, which is where you are now. It's innofplanarcrossroads.com or the iopc.com. Either one of those works. We've got a YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Subscribestar, PayPal, Locals, Patreon, lots of different things like that. And if you support even one time, that means that you get access to the things that we're making here, or the things that will, Lord willing, be made here and formulated and then put out for printable stuff. So, yeah. Check those things out. And I guess, as always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.
This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.
Okay. And we're just a little before 10, so Dan should be good to go into the next one. And I don't think that we've got anything crazy. Does anybody need a bathroom break before we go to the next one?
I don't.
All right.
Okay. We're actually running... I'm trying to keep us closer to time, since, joking aside, we do want to have Dan as long as we can, because it makes for good conversation, having 3 people bouncing around.
Yes.
So. Okay. I think the item thing will actually go a little faster because we already know one thing's the power suit. So, you know, that's going to be there. Let's see. You going to be able to stick around for the next one, Dan? What do you think?
I apologize that I don't think I'm actually feeling it already.
Midnight.
I apologize.
Okie dokie.
I know. I'm trying to keep my promises, so I want to make sure. Prayers if you can. We'll see. If I can get things figured out, then we'll be testing hormones next if things continue. But it's nothing like theoretically I'm not going to die or anything. It's just getting healthy.
Well, everybody does, but
yes. Oh, we ain't getting any younger.
all right. I get it. Do you want to stay on to list your things and then bump out, or what do you think? You gonna cut out now?
Whatever's better for you in the video, really.
All right. Well, we can let you go first when we'll do the intro stuff and let you go first, and then we'll give you a hard time as you cut out. How about that?
That's perfect. I love it.
Okay. All right. So it'll be me this time. All right.